T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
All right. I'm going to shut this door. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, family and friends. What I'm going to do is kind of just get into this in a little bit. We're just going to see who's coming on in about 30 seconds. Huge news, ladies and gentlemen. This is probably the biggest news I have ever had to do here on the show. Okay? So I've got some things written down just so you know if I'm looking away, it's because I'm reading off of it. So here's what we've got going on. In case you didn't realize, today is I'm celebrating my 4th anniversary of the resurrection of the radio show that first began back in 1988. A show that ran for 20 incredible years, that went silent for 14, and then found its way home again. Jigs and Reels Radio KW was reborn 4 years ago today. For those who may not know the backstory, this show was created as a tribute to Newfoundlanders and Labradorians who moved away from home looking for a better life here in Kitchener-Waterloo region. So back in 1988, there was no internet, there was no streaming, there were no playlists on demand. There was just radio, and the power it had to make you feel close to home even when you were far away. I spent many years traveling back to Newfoundland to visit my dad's family back in Heart's Desire. And it was there sitting with my grandparents, Bill and Margaret Clark. That was the seed that the show was planted. They listened faithfully to a program which much like the one you're hearing now. So in every year without fail, when it came time for us to leave after 3 weeks of being home, Nan would always make the same request when the Robins come home. And that song, it broke us every single time. We cried on the drive to the airport, cried on the plane, cried back on the drive home. And honestly, we carried it with us for weeks on end. And then we did it again the year after. And then when I decided I wanted to get into radio, CKWR opened its doors and its studio and gave me the chance to bring this idea to life. The goal was simple: to give Newfoundlanders living here a piece of home once a week through music. Over the years, I was honored to share the airwaves with some of the most incredible people, some who are still alive with us today and others who have passed on. But through this show, their voices and their legacy live on. I've even actually had my daughter Delaney on the air when she was very, very young. But after 20 years, life shifted, the passion faded, other priorities took over. So I stepped away. 14 years later, during COVID, after a suggestion from Dana and after watching an incredible wave of young, talented Newfoundland and Labrador musicians emerge online, I knew it was time to come back. Time to give those new singer-songwriters the same love and passion I had given so many before them. And once again, Jigs and Reels Radio KW became the conduit, connecting Newfoundland and Labrador to the masses. The last 4 years have been filled with moments I never could have imagined, every one of them being absolutely amazing. And now it's time. So instead of trying to find the words, I'm going to do this properly. In just a moment, I'm going to read a press release that I'm going to be posting later today, and I hope you're sitting down, because this is the biggest news I've ever shared. Jigs and Reels Radio KW is no longer. But Off the Rock Radio is. What, did you honestly think I was going to let it go? Jigs and Reels Radio KW, ladies and gentlemen, rebrands as Off the Rock Radio. The press release is as follows. Jigs and Reels Radio KW is excited to announce a new name, Off the Rock Radio. While the name is changing, the mission remains the same: to celebrate and showcase the rich musical heritage of Newfoundland and Labrador, past, present, and future. Committed to all the genres, the new name reflects the show's dedication to encompassing the wider variety of Newfoundland and Labrador music today and into tomorrow. Listeners can continue to enjoy the broad spectrum of Newfoundland music every Monday night right here, 7 o'clock Eastern, 8:30 Newfoundland time on FM 98.5 CKWR, online at the new CKWR.com and Radio Canada Player app, and of course 24 hours a day at live365.com. Off the Rock Radio represents a fresh chapter while staying true to our roots. I am still committed to all genres, bringing the best of Newfoundland and Labrador music to the audience wherever they are. And with that said, as of right now, the show and all of its socials will be officially known as Off the Rock Radio. I also want to be clear about something. I do this entirely on my own. I don't get paid. There's no staff and there's no production team behind the scenes. This is all me. So when I take my time and I do this, I make sure that I'm doing it well. With guidance, encouragement, with, of course, a lot of people along the way. But there's one person, Dave Fitzpatrick, who's allowing me to continue using the opening theme song, Heave Away, from the Fables. Now, something that means more to the show than I can properly explain. So I hope you continue to support the artists that I play, the artists that I interview, the artists you hear on this show, whether they're legends, newcomers, or somewhere in between. And more than that, I hope you continue to support the culture of Newfoundland and Labrador. Embrace its beauty, its music, its stories, but most importantly, it's the people. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Sorry I put a little scare on you, and get ready because new things are coming in 2026. Off the Rock Radio takes over now. Let's go.